Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Everyone in the future, welcome and thank you for watching and listening. It's Friday. It's the end of the week for most of us. Not for me though. That's tomorrow. It's been a long day, a long week. But most of us made it through. We made it. Let's see. Check out Serious Moonlight on YouTube. It's got a new video out. It's really good. Really thought-provoking. That's Serious Moonlight on YouTube. Welcome back, boss. Welcome back, Rattle. How you doing? Luis de Luna Sierra. I don't know. I guess that's a band. I don't know what the band is. Light of the Moon, Desert Moon. Right? I think maybe. Let's see. Serious Moonlight. Serious. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Serious Moonlight. Check him out. It's a really good video. I think everyone will enjoy it. Welcome back, Cayman. How you doing? Cayman says, is it severe moonlight? Yes. It is. Let's see. Man, oh man. Oh, I got I guess a copyright strike yesterday for singing on the stream, or for that little bit of every moment I wake up before I put on whatever that song is. I don't know the song, but I got an email. Who gives a shit? They were like, this isn't a point against you, but something that monetization will be divided between you. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't make no money off here. That's not the point. The point is not to make money. The point is to have a decent conversation, a thrilling conversation, even though thrills are not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for a conversation, a thought-provoking conversation. Right? YouTube thinks I'm a Aretha Franklin. Right? I guess I can sing. That means I'm moving up. Maybe I should open up a SoundCloud and start singing on there. Maybe I'll make some money. Rattle asks, why does everything has to be about $1? I don't know, man. I don't know. Apparently I can't even sing a song good. Yeah, Rattle asks, so you can't even sing a song? Apparently, I don't know. But if the stream made money, they want to. So I turned off monetization. I think I turned off monetization. I can't even say the stupid ass word. Or maybe I left it on. I don't remember. I was just like, I didn't even read the email all the way. I was just like, this is stupid. It's stupid. You know what? Is it Aretha Franklin? If she wants her pennies that don't exist here, because it's what, 1/1000th of a cent. If she's so hard up for that, is she even alive? If her foundation, her estate wants that, they can have it. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep doing what I like to do. I don't know, but I thought it was interesting. This whole YouTube thing is quite interesting. And I understand that a lot of people run their livelihoods off of this stuff. And you know, and if they do, kudos to them, respect. But in my opinion, I don't know. I wouldn't quit my 40-hour job. I don't make buku money, but damn, I get to live the way I want. Beholden to no one. And that's the way it should be. Rattle says, so it's people that didn't even do that. She did preying on people. So it's people that didn't even do what she did, preying on people. Right. The estate. I assume she's dead. Man, I've been going down some wild wiki holes about ancient deities. Cayman says, Cayman, what deities have you been talking about, dude? You got to be careful. You got to be careful with dealing with the supernatural, because even though many people believe it's not real, it is. It is very real. Because if it wasn't real, then why would so many people know about it? You know? Have so many experiences about it. I'm a man of science, but I also understand that there's things that science cannot explain yet. Capital Y-E-E-T, yet. Rattle says, nice, Cayman. I've been doing similar with the horse gorillas of antiquity. Crazy stuff. Horse gorillas? What is a horse gorilla? That's crazy. Rattle, you're going too far, man. You can't go too far into science, man. If you don't have like a scientist, a Rick to help guide you, you'll just get lost in the black hole of calculus. Calculus. Oh, so everybody, we are going to be doing the call-in show tomorrow, the open mic. If you wish to join the Discord. And if you're in the Discord, just join the InQ channel. Roundtable on Hold is what it's called. We also have a question of the week, which is a doozy. It is. It's a doozy. It's a mind boggler. It's what are the exact origins of Millicent and her sisters? Furthermore, what do they represent? I'm interested to see what people think about that. I think that's a good question. It's a doozy. It's a real doozy. It's more of a doozy than the last week's question. And if nothing goes wrong, you know, God willing, and if the creeks don't rise, we'll be here on time. We won't have to postpone it. So, yeah. It's a doozy. Boss says, oh, wait. Let's see what Cayman says. It's real in the same way as words are real. We agree on the idea and it shapes the way we think. It's real as you are real. Be careful. Let's see. Rattle says, wow, it's usually a calculus that gets lost in a black hole. Also, a calculus grows in the back of your teeth if you don't brush them. I'm just saying. I have a thing about teeth. It's gross. Fear the old horse. That's right. Har, 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 har. Says Battle. Last week's question was for sure an invitation on speculation. It really was. It really was. All right. Let's see. Let's begin. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room. All right. Let me turn off the light here. Get in the mood. Because we're going into the Shadowlands, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to find Oletta And maybe then she will love us. She will love me as she loves Mikla. And maybe even more. Because I will love her back. Genuinely. I will give her the life she deserved. The life she yearns for in her wicked little heart. Welcome back, Freeman. Watch the copyright. Boom, boom. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about no copyrights. I will turn off monetization so I can be free to do as I wish. I will do it. Because if you aren't free, then what are you? Nossel knows. I feel it. Nossel says, can we interrupt the stream for 10 minutes? I didn't watch Serious Moonlight's new video yet. What, bro? No, we can't stop. I can't watch his video on our stream. That would take away all the views. Well, next year when I start reviewing lore videos, we'll watch his old stuff. Freeman says, I was Serious Moonlight's new video. Okay, I watched, he means to say. I watched Serious Moonlight's new video. So good, covers things no one takes notice of. Right. No, oh, yeah, you can pause the stream, man. It don't bother me none. Don't bother me none. You can always come back. And don't worry, you can always watch it. It uploads after I'm done, so you can watch it. I get most of my views after they upload, so it's okay. All right, so, oh, where am I? Who am I? What? What am I down here for? What? Oh, I remember. All right, I wanted to look at this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to look at this because I find it intriguing about these monoliths. Are they? No, they're obelisks. Are they obelisks? Tablets. These statue things. Okay, so these right here, not those. Those, I don't think you can really discern anything really out of those. But it's these here. Excuse me. All right, it's these here that I was this morning when I was before I played Marathon and decided that that game is weird. I was playing this and I was looking at this. I don't know what these tablets are called. We'll call them tablets. I'll tune my game on and look with you. All right, there you go. Thank you. Let me know in 20 minutes. All right, so if you look at these, right? If we're looking at these, we can instantly, you can notice a pattern because the human mind recognizes patterns. And the pattern is that segment 1 is the same as segment 2, the same as segment 3, 4, and 5, right? And what is it that we're looking at, right? We're looking at some type of saints, wise men, sages, but there's also women. We have the women. Let me use the thing. The diamond here in the center. This is a woman. She's carrying something, maybe a child. Another one on this side, she's holding a child. Because you know that's how you hold a child. You have one arm lower than the other, one to support their butt, and one to support their back or their head, if depending on their age, right? And so when I see these, you know, because I've had 3 kids. Oh, I didn't have them, but my wife, she had 3 kids that were mine. And so this is what it reminds me of, that this is a woman holding her child, and this is a guy like holding a bag or some type of plate, a bottle, a lamb. He's holding something else. This is not a man. This one is not a man. This outer one here remind me of the Pinion folk from Night Rain, but we don't see any wings. But we could see that maybe this right here is his wing wrapped around him, but it could be also a cloth. So I was thinking about that. So whoever these people are, they're doing something. They're gathered around this thing, right? And it's in all three. What could that thing represent? I've heard it said represent the Erd tree. It represents the crucible. Whatever it is, it's significant, right? These wise men or people are these sages, I'll say. You know, they have staffs. One staff there, one staff there, one staff there, one staff there. They're all holding a staff or something to let you know that, you know, they're older. They're sages, right? They're just sages. So if we look at that, and then, but you can also, hold on. You can also see that, like on this one here, it's like a goat head. It's got the horns like a goat. And this one doesn't have a goat. This one has the little boat people from Aenear Limb. This one has something else. Is it a genie lamp right there? This one has a bowl of some type. And the goat head once again. So the beginning and this one, the third one, or the fourth one, have the same one. So the pattern, it may not be a pattern, but there are 4 distinct images here, right? The goat head, the bowl, the genie lamp. Oh, nope, maybe just 3. Goat head, bowl, genie lamp, goat head, bowl, and I guess it would be genie lamp. But if we go over here, let's see. Now, hold on. Let me see before I walk over here. Boss Saucer says, the ancient dynasty, the first tree growers and progenitors culturally of the horn scent. Okay. I see. I've heard that too, boss. I've heard that too. Let me adjust my mic. Let's see. Rattle says, maybe they are grafting boughs to the tree, which will turn into that tree we see in places like Stormvale's throne. Stormvale's throne. I don't know what you mean. Which tree? Let's see. At Godwin was a golden bough, and was attracted to a tree though. Two figures are dead on the same as the 2 in the giant reliefs on the wall in the grand cloisters, if that helps. No, I don't know the grand cloister. Where's that? I forget where that is. There's so many places. Let me, do I have a, oh yes, I have let me pull out the white light. The white light. All right, so here we go again. Before we moving on, but not moving on because there's much to cover. It's by the, oh yeah, no. Okay, I see what you, yeah, by the Lake of Rot. Yes, those images repeat there too. They repeat there too. But look at this too. All right, so if we look at this, oh man. All right, let's see. All right, so here we see the same beginning image. The goat head here. The same people, the sages, and now we see them, I guess, plucking fruits or something off the tree. They're doing something to the tree. He may be reaching into the tree. These 2 are reaching into bushes. This person's doing something as well. And then they're down here. And I was looking at here, and I've heard it say that down here they're like preparing bodies for burial and stuff like that. But I don't see that. I don't see that any longer. What I see is they're making like a dough, or they're making bread. Because if you look at like French Italian bread is very thin. They could be making some type of bread or something, right? Here's some more over here. I mean, it looks like they're working. Let me see if I can get up here. Oh, really? Wow. Right? I've heard it say that they're doing something to the baby. Maybe I've heard one thing saying it's America giving birth. To me, if they're cultivating bread or plucking bread or you know, harvesting fruits off the trees, then the next thing to do is to prepare that fruit for something, right? Is it the birth of the agriculture? Perhaps, Freeman. Perhaps. Welcome back, Mastrote. But I definitely think they're doing some type of cooking. Because down here in the second one, second to the last, as you can see, I'm not sure you can see it. They're handing out stuff. There in the center is something square. I mean, that's a perfect square, like a tesseract, right? And these guys have now these jars. There's a woman or a man there kneeling in prayer, hands up. We have some more monks, more people waiting in line for their blessing. Perhaps they're getting ready to, give out the dew of the trees, the fruit of the trees, something. See, there's another person there, and they're actually reaching for something. And here is something that I noticed. This centerpiece, this bottom piece. Hold on, let me see if there's a better. All right, look. If we do the shadows just right, we get a better image. So they're definitely making something, and they're definitely pouring out something. If I'm not sure y'all can see that. Right? All right, so let me see if I can get a good look at that one on the bottom. If not, I'll go back to it. All right, we'll go back to it. Here on the bottom, oh, you know what? Let me pull out a rainbow stone. I'll throw a rainbow stone on there, and then I'll look. Rainbow stone. Rainbow stone. And let me know if you see what I see. Whoops. Right there, perfect. Now, do you see what I see there in the center? That center person is no man. You got the three wise men, a long-headed goat face, horse face, a elongated neck, or a elongated head, and then three other men on the other side, or people. This person is not human, and he's very important because not only is his section taller to accommodate who he is, he's also in the center. That person, I think, is who we find in Enir Elim. That person. Wait, did I not save it? Oh, I think that person is in the tablets that we find in. We're gonna head there right now. It could be horse people. The guy with the horns. You're right, Rattle. That's exactly who I think it might be. And if it's not him, if it's not a withered version of that picture of him, then it's one of these horse sages from your video. Kind of like Libra. Rattle says, there are horn guys on tablets at the private altar in Ballarat. All right, we'll go there. Freeman says, I thought Libra at first. I've never noticed that fire there before. It's gone. That was weird. And in the theater of the divine beast, on the doors on top, there are 3 holding conscious shells looking down. Look at the top of the door. Why, was it glowing fire too? Oh, those 3 guys, exactly. Those 3 horned creatures that represent their tribunal or whatever. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go get to this guy. Whoever this guy is, I think he might be represented, maybe, in what we find in the dynasty. Ancient dynastic runes. And I only say maybe, and I give it a 30% chance. And the only reason I say 30% is because this guy does not have the elongated neck that we would see. This guy is more of like a monstrosity. I wouldn't even call him Hornson. He does have like horns. He could be like a Medusa type person. Because he doesn't even have a face, right? Thank you for the super chat, Mastrote. I'm high, so here's another part of my timeline. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Freeman says, Elden John once the roots grow out his head. Elden John wants the roots grow out his head. Oh, I see. Elden John wants the roots grow out of his head. It's British. I see. I think so. I mean, it's quite possible, but we don't see the roots growing out his booty. Right? there's a lot. All right, let's go back underground. There was something else. All right, let's see. Mastrote wants to share his timeline. Are we gonna talk about the fact that the Hornsynth, the Nox, and Lindell or Erdtree people, the astrologers maybe, the giants and all the other cultures we heard of live in the same era under the Sun Realm, and later when the Finger religion took over everything and imposed their rule with the creation of the Elden Ring? That's why the Nox and the Hornsynth and probably the other cultures too were trying to copy the how to create a god ritual, and that's why we see the corpses of the giant skeletons. Oh, that's an intriguing idea. But right off the bat, one thing I do see wrong with this is in your dissertation here, right here where you say impose their rules with with the creation of the Elden Ring. The Elden Ring was not created by the Fingers. It was not created by any person in this or on Elden Earth. Was not created by anybody. It is an outer god creation, an otherworldly place. Freeman says his booty roots turned to booty roots on the Grand Cloister. What? I like where you're going. I like where you're going. Booty roots. All right, so if we come back here to Horseface. There's another thing here. There's an image back here that I've yet to figure out or make out what it could be. Let me put a glowstone next to it. And then, you know, there's that one. But everybody knows this one. But what is this one? If you can tell me, it looks like there's a star. Is it the two fingers holding a star? Is it a chromosome? What in the world is this thing? I see a four-pointed star. Maybe a what's that thing that Tarnished archaeologists called it, or scum mage? That four-leaf clover? I forget what it was. Mastrose says Maynard came from the greater willpower and created the ring to power Placidusax and rule the world. No, that's fundamentally wrong based on the descriptions of what we get, that the Elden Ring came on its own star with the Elden Beast. And the Elden Ring came and became, or the Elden Beast came on its star and became the Elden Ring. Cayman says, that's a little man with an antenna. Looks, Slope, welcome back. Slope says, looks like a Devantire tree with a star on top. Quadrifoil, there you go, quatrefoil. See, I knew y'all be paying attention. Mastrose says, each culture is trying to create an Imperium. I would agree with that. Kimmy says, I like the idea that its mater's tail looks like it's a star at the tip. Oh. I didn't even ever think it was mater's tail, because I was thinking, let me use the arrow here, the number one arrow. Because to me, that looks like a hand, an arm, and a hand elbow reaching up. Kind of like it's holding it in front of itself. And the same thing on this side, the arm and the hand up. Little legs. Like it's wearing MC Hammer pants. Oh, can't touch this. Oh, okay. Anyways. And then like the two fingers, right? Copyright. Copyright. Here's the hammer. It's going to get 2,000ths of a cent now. Oh, yo, oh. I didn't even know I was singing that song right. Thank you, Rattle. Do you want to build a snowman? Do you want to look at stars? Mater's got a big old booty. I can't say the rest of that song. All right, here we go. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what that is. If anybody comes out with a good idea, let me know in the comments in the future. Because as of right now, myself and those in the chat are confounded. And if you believe that this person here in the center is a goat man, go check out Serious Moonlight's video. A goat man, a Libra, a horseman, whatever he is, he isn't human. And the rest of these images, the rest of the things on these tablets, I think they're just random images. I don't think they represent anything. I don't think they're trying to tell us anything as well. I mean, is that I guess you could say that might be the beginning of the Beastmen. Because they don't have any tails. Beastmen don't have tails, right? And they have the Beastman head. Oh, could that be? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they do tell us something. These things represent the dawning of the age of beasts. Because look at their feet. They're starting to look more human. So what's with the bulls? Let's look. I am the bull god. I am free. Wait a minute. Is that the Elden Ring? I think that's the Elden Ring. Let me back up. All right. So if the outer ring represents like the cosmos, right? Like all the gods. And then you have the ring in the center. Because remember, the Elden Ring normally has 1, 2, 3, 4 rings in it, right? And we see this thing has like kind of 4 rings, 4 loops, and then stuff in the center. Right? Could this be a representation of the Elden Ring before they were intertwined? Rattle says, other than maybe bulls represent being taken through an afterlife, given that we only see them on ships and gravestones. I wouldn't call this a gravestone. Slope says, that's some lion fighting over a sword with fire on top. Basically Crucible ritual stuff. I wouldn't call those lions either. They don't have any tails. Unless they're elder lions. Do elder lions have... I think elder lions have tails. We'll have to go kill one real quick. Let's see. Cayman says, golden star bearing a beast, which would later become the Elden Ring, and the first star to fall upon the lands between. Yes. Copyright. says Rattle. Hey, everybody's making money tonight, Rattle. Everybody's making money tonight. 369. Anyway, Cayman says Elden Beast, vessel of golden, Elden Beast, vessel of greater will, Mater, daughter of greater will. I don't think Mastrote's conclusion is unfounded. Yes, it is. Because the Elden Beast is not a vessel. The Elden Beast is the Elden Ring. America is the vessel. Radigan is the vessel. The Elden Beast needs a vessel to live in. So there's where you're wrong there. And about Mater being the daughter of the greater will, that's true. You can't argue that. That's verbatim. Slope says it's a ring with elements in it, pretty much. Pretty much, you could say, yeah. It's a ring with elements in it. The chimera beneath it is considered more crucible stuff. Chimera? I don't think that's a chimera, man. I think that's just a bull or some type of goat. A chimera is like a creature that's made of multiple creatures, like with rings, a scorpion tail, lion's head, stuff like that. Dragon wings or something like that. Do animals represent, Freeman says, do animals represent constellations to date each age to when each constellation was prominent in night sky? Do the animals represent constellations to date each age to when each constellation was prominent in the night sky? If you want to think, yeah, you can, but there's no way to know for certain, because the night sky is also a video game, so we don't know. There's no way to know it, but I'll back you up. I agree with you. I'll agree with you, and that's the hill I'm going to die on. I'll die on that hill with you, Freeman. Leave the lions alone. They have no tails. Let's see. Welcome back, Yo Pharaohs, Rob. And then Mastrote said, no, it's not. Blah. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Slope says most beasts like those are chimera anyways, like torrent. Even deer antlers and ancestral spirits are really horns, not antlers. They're all mixed of animals. I mean, if you want to use it in the general term, you could, I suppose. If you want to use it as an encompassing general term, why not just call it an animal? Because the chimera is pretty specific of what it is when it comes to fantasy, I believe. Freeman says, I think the four symbols are for the seasons. If each season is represented by a leaf, then I would agree with you. Rattle says, what I would ask myself and have before is what does it mean for these four circles being connected, and what do the leaves mean? The leaves tell a story. Their connection, right? What? That's a good question. Cayman says, vessel meaning steward. It's a term the game uses. Vassal. That's different. Yeah. Is that what you said? Did you say vassal or vessel? Because they're two different things. Spelled differently, I believe. Right? Hey, Google, what's the difference between a vassal and a vessel? While they sound similar, Google says, they belong to entirely different worlds. A vassal is a person in the feudal system who provides loyalty and services, usually militarily, to a lord in exchange for land and protection. A vessel, a hollow container used to hold liquids, or a craft, like a ship or a boat designed for water travel. In anatomy, it refers to tubes like veins that carry blood. One spelled with an E and one spelled with an A. So we have to be careful. If I misread it, I did misread it. You said vassal. I apologize. But I don't think the Elden Beast was a vassal of the Elden Ring. The Elden Ring is the Elden Beast. They're if they are one and in the same, right? In my opinion, I could be wrong. Metafactual, welcome back, says it has a very Mayan calendar look to it for sure. It does. 2012 was the last day or the last year the world was existed. After that, the world ceased to exist, was blinked out of reality by CERN when they collided atoms that made a black hole in Germany and destroyed the world. And we are all living in a parallel universe at this moment. And Mastrota says the Elder Beast is the power of the greater will sent to control Radigan and repair the ring and kill America, and then ruled by possessing Radigan. Okay, Mastrota. I understand where you're going. Enjoy that road, my friend. Enjoy that road. It sounds like a good story. Slope says, Chimera means multiple animals in one. Most beasts inlands between are chimeras, if not all. That's just the Crucible lore influenced design. Okay, interesting. Rattle says, we see that the same motif, leaves encircled with vines on the borders of the stone statues and doorways all over the place in the lands between. The only place they are grounded in for is on these tablets. Okay. Pharaoh says, I believe the circles represents us because of the great runes we carry, and the animals below represent torrent. Oh, damn. Pharaoh's coming in with that deep thinking. Damn, Pharaohs. I like that. I don't have a counterpoint to that. That's really good. Mastrota says, that's just the sun. Thank you, Mastrota. You're doing great, man. You're doing great tonight. Mastrota also says, they all worship the sun and moon during the Sun Realm Empire. You are correct. Freeman also says, I think the leaves are connected by the cycle of the moon to indicate months passing and seasons changing. Okay, I can see that. Slope also says there's 4 scorpion charms and different and main damage elements. So the 4 circles inside the ring could be lightning, sacred, magic, and fire. Okay. Let's see. Rattle says, wait. Are we looking at a seed? Like the cross section of a seed on the back of a bull? Like a fallen star beast, Rattle? Cayman says, A, I never forget you. Oh, he says, A, I'll never forgive you. B, vassal of the greater will, I said. Right. I apologize. You don't have to forgive me. But it's okay. I'll forgive you. Let's see. Mastroza says, yes, the spirit civilization existed during the Sun Realm, ruled by the Newmans. Where are you getting this stuff? This is fat. I wish I was playing the game you're playing, Mastrote. I wish I was playing that game, bro. You're probably playing Elden Ring 2, The Wrath of Godwin. Slope says, and Nox pulling a wheel is a good point. It does look like a chimera that's carrying the wheel. I don't see where you're getting the chimera from, man. It clearly is just one animal. With that thing is most likely I will admit it does look like it's got two tails. And where do we see two tail things? In Shadowkeep. It doesn't have all the horns. It doesn't even have horns. It's got cat ears, maybe. I don't know. Meta comes back and says, if crucible currents are generated on different planets where life is abundant, then the fingers might be used to infiltrate. Then the fingers might be used to infiltrate and make ready the arrival of the Elden Ring and beast. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Ferris says, by the way, after reading the description of the lands between rune, I no longer think it's exactly tarnished. We're exactly tarnished. Why do you think that? Why do you think that your pharaohs? Where's the lands between rune? Do I have one? Let's go look at it. Now I'm curious. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Oh, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I know that song. What song is that? Is that Tina Turner? What's the land of the runes between? Yeah, we're going to look at that right now. New character. Name. Keepsake. Right here. The gold of grace shining in the eyes of people of the lands between. Used to gain many runes. Does it say something different in game? Mastroce says Night Rain has tainted a lot of people. Oh yeah, I don't count Night Rain. The game is gameplay first, lore second. The text felt like it was written by interns. True. What does it say? All right, let's look at it. Inventory. Grace said to have once dwelled in the eyes of the inhabitants of the lands between, the lingering residue of gold. No grace resides in the eyes of the tarnished. If it ever did, it is now lost. That's okay. Pharaohs, explain. Do you want me to bring you into chat and you can tell me in person? I can bring you right in. If you jump in the Discord, I'll bring you right in. Cause I don't see how this tells us. He says no, I'm shy. All right, then please, sir or ma'am, I'm not sure. Tell me what about this inspired your thought? Freeman says, back on the original subject, the animals came on the boat without horns and gained them here. That's a bull before it got its horns. Excuse me, in the lands between. Jackal, welcome back. Jackal Khan on YouTube and Sunstorm Jackal on Twitch. Everybody go check them out. Welcome back, Jackal Khan. Let's see. Just got done recording some awesome footage for Night Rain. Hell yeah. Let's see. Meta says, but why would the coffins ships be depicting horned bulls in the stele? Slope says chimeras from Miyazaki. From Miyazaki and laughing my ass off. It's a mix of different animals. Crucible lore is literally about making up genetic traits into life forms, and Miyazaki calls Torrent a chimera. He said Torrent got traits from mules, horses, and deers. Did he say that in a interview? Because the translator could have just used the word chimera because he didn't know how to translate correctly. But I understand where you're going, and it's not a hill that I want to die on, saying that it's not a chimera. But chimeras normally are in fiction or something, their own animal. Anyways, let's see. Your Pharaohs. Here he comes. Here he comes. It says there's no longer any grace in the eyes of the tarnished. So we must have been something more than just a simple tarnished. No grace resides in the eyes of the tarnished. If it ever did, it is now lost. I don't. Hold on. Let me see if your Pharaoh says anything else. Welcome back, Michael. Could we be different spirits or consciousness populating a tarnished body? Wait. But our tarnished don't have grace in their eyes. Right? So right? They don't, that's why they're called tarnished, right? And it's been so long since their banishment that it's like become almost like a myth at this point. They've left into the Badlands and they've created societies. There's even churches now, the Church of the Two Fingers, that have their own thing. They're kind of like the Roman Catholic Church. You know, they melded in. They may have even started the Land of Reed. The Badlands could have just been this wild place, and the tarnished just settled there, like the Americas, right? And then the idea of grace over the centuries is just, you know, becomes a myth. That's why it's questioned. If it ever did, it is now lost, right? So are we not a tarnished? We are a tarnished. So we're tarnished in two ways. Either A, we're one of the original tarnished that was banished with Godfrey, or B, we are a descendant of a tarnished. And a descendant of a tarnished is still not going to have grace. Meta says, but grace was restored. Grace was restored. Yes, grace was restored. So we know that this right here is telling us an idea before grace was restored. It's kind of an encapsulated timepiece of what life was thought about, what life was for or thought about when the tarnished before their grace, you know? Man, probably a lot of them didn't even believe that there was ever grace. They had ever had grace before. If it ever did, it is now lost. I mean, it shows the doubt. That's how long from the event to wherever this was. The passage of time is so separated. The people doubt it even really existed or happened. It's kind of like if you doubt that, you know, Genghis Khan, you know, invaded Rome or burnt down Rome or whatever. It's kind of like that. If you just heard about it and you didn't know the archaeology or any of it, you know, it was just word of mouth, you would doubt it, right? Because we all have to remember that these people are in a medieval dark age mindset. They don't have the hindsight we do, or whatever, the intellect. 6-7, boom boom. Thank you, your heroes. I appreciate it. Banned. Slope says, yeah, but it was like the one Kratos kills a god of war one, and something I think is close to the story legend Chimera. I don't know. I never played those games, dude. They're boring. I never played them. I never played God of War, sorry. Or Assassin's Creed. I played the first one in Brotherhood, and then I was like, I'm never buying another one. Do they... Rattle says, do they start that character with a fake grace? I think every character starts with a memory of grace. The memory of first grace, which once guided bygone tarnish to the lands between. and this grace, I know everybody's heard it, but this fake grace or memory of grace looks like a sunset on the water. Metafactual says, also, you might have gotten Dragon Communion or Frenzy Eyes. I forget what we were talking about that, but okay. Jacko says, I'm a descendant of Genghis Khan in Charlemagne. I don't have to prove that. That's true. You are. You are, I believe you. Almighty Genghis Khan and Charlemagne. Meta says, oh, okay, talking to Freeman. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I thought it was the fake one. It says, Rattle Machortes, where's Boss? I think I'm coming home to my timeline. I'm coming home on my timeline. Okay. Boss is somewhere around. He's probably in the Discord. You should stop and talk to him. He gets lonely. I think it looks like the opening of the Iris of Grace. Oh, we'll have to get one. But to me, that looks like the sunset, right? Let me get back to my main character. Kimmy says, add a rune art to a memory of Grace. Aquaman says Pharaoh's. Add a rune art to a memory of Grace. How do you add a rune art to a memory of Grace? Let's go to the sea. Your Pharaoh says, Romina. Oh, that's how. Are you channeling Boss? Channel him. All right, so now if we look at the memory of Grace, if I have one. Kind of reminiscent. Kind of reminiscent. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta take some cold medicine or something. Oh, right. I'm back. I'm back. Here we go. Let's see. Chilean hot dogs. What? What did everyone have? What's a Chilean hot dog? I had Wingstop for lunch. My boss was like, "Hey, let's go get Wingstop," and then he was like, "You pay." Oh, I'll Google that, and it looks delicious. What's a Chilean hot dog? Oh, wow. I don't know what that is, but I want one. All right, back to the Shadowlands. Is that guacamole on a hot dog? Why haven't I ever thought of that? Guac? El guac on a hot dog. Interesting. I don't mind Memory of Grace and Grace Mimics being reflections on the water. What the hell? Oh, that's a person. Silver reflects, moon reflects, silver tear mimics, obviously, with a splash of dreg soul humanity shaped. What's up? What's up, Vi? Insight reflection. Guac glizzy. What? I'm gonna have to Google this. Somebody send me a picture, please. But I'm basic. I'm basic. I'm a basic bitch when it comes to hot dogs. I just like mustard. Sometimes relish. Sometimes chili. You had chili dogs earlier? Man, chili dogs. Okay, for me, a perfect chili dog, right, is any chili besides Wolf Brand chili. I'll never get sponsored by Wolf Brand chili because they hurt their brand hurts my stomach. Any brand of chili. So you take your hot dog, you add a shit ton of mustard to your hot dog. You put your chili, and then you put more mustard, onions, jalapenos, and hey, you got me for life. I'll be your friend for life. That's how I like my hot dogs, chili dogs. I had what rattle? I never heard of Skyline.
Ah, Lady Leda spoke of you. You're that tarnished. Guided here by kindly Mikola. Won't we all? I am Freya. I once fought alongside General Radahn. In battle, you can be sure I'll hold my own.
I had Great Valley no beans chili. Hey man, Walmart brand. Hey, don't be. I will never diss Walmart brand's food because Walmart brand food, Great Valley brand, it's fucking good. It they like try harder than the name brands to make their food taste better.
If you've yet to, you'll find more of the Mikola the Kind's footprint. If you've yet, assuming you.
When I was married and all my family, we would buy Great Valley brand, man, because it was cheap and it was delicious. And we used to like when their marketing stuff was just a blue letter, Great Value, a blank box. Oops. Huh. Interesting. Does she come back? Did I fuck up? She does come back.
If you've yet to do so, be sure to have our dowry.
Oh, is she real?
And yet my oath I cannot overlook. If Mikola it is whom you would seek, then
Slope knows the truth.
Allow me to give you this. These
Rattle says no chili bean equals sloppy joes. No, bro.
Mikola, as long as you abide.
I understand the sentiment, but I like both. I like chili with no beans and chili with beans. She's a memory. Oh man, she does it. It did seem like it, right? Like she wasn't even real. She is dead. Maybe that's why she doesn't have a very convincing story or enticing story, because she is actually just dead. Should we kill all these characters? Oh, I do. But the thing is, I can't eat sloppy joes either anymore because they hurt the old gizzards. Me gizzards. Let's talk to what's his
Be
face?
the tarnished. I am Ansbach,
Ansbach.
formerly in service to Lord Moog, but now, like you, another soul guided by kindly Mikola.
I accidentally
I,
hit
the
Freya and
steady
she
hand
disappeared
that
like a
once was.
ghost.
My fighting days are far behind me, which is why I have chosen to dedicate myself to investigation, to discern tender Mikola's ultimate purpose.
Oh, I'm killing
Rather than
Tolier
volunteer
first. If we're gonna
service
kill them
to a
all,
new master,
I
unless
do
know
not
that I
like
can be
Tolier.
of use.
He's a weak-willed, weak man. Deserves death.
Hello there. Together, we work. Together, for Mikola the Kind. Many things.
Out of all of them,
have
I don't
found.
like killing more. Though I have killed him for his armor. Because, you know, he does the invasion. It always gives me a twinge in my cold, dead heart to kill him. Because he's kind of reminds me of Simple Jack. Or what's that guy of Mice and Men?
Goodbye.
He's touched. He's a little touched in the head. I kill kittens? Oh, wait, not me. She's an illusion made by Mikla. She could be. I do be killing kittens, man. You should see me on Final Fantasy 14. Hey, Tropic Thunder left an impression on me. Make my eyes brain. All right, let's get in here. Let's get in here. Let's do this. Lenny? Cayman says Lenny. Maybe I'm missing something. Mostrote says, watch the title screen, dude. The Elden Ring from the Elden Ring that America had was only the center part of the title image. She stole it from the Gloam-Eyed Queen and the Finger Religion, creating the era of plenty. The title? All right, let's go look at the title screen. Because in the Discord, I brought this up about what versions of the Elden Ring do we see. We never see this version of the Elden Ring. In game, because this is a logo. Should we take this Elden Ring image here as canon? Because it's marketing, right? You won't ever see this version of the Elden Ring in game. Oh, Lenny is the name of the guy from Mice and Men. Okay, I get it. Thank you, Cayman. You're really well read, Cayman. Let's see. The bottom of the title screen. That's Radigan. The Radigan cross hatches, yes. The lattice is the lattice. So I see that. I see America's Great Rune. Yes, I see that at the top. That's the ring that America shatters. Incorrect insight. I would say that you're incorrect on that. Incorrect. Try again. Let's see. Slope says stole it from the fingers though. Nah, because the fingers guided her. Stole it from the Glowmine Queen. I'd agree though. No, there's no way. The Glowmine Queen never had the Elden Ring. She had a rune of death. She had death and death, I believe. Her own mending rune, her own Elden Ring that she made to kill the gods. But this, let me see. Can you see my cursor? Can you see my, maybe? This bottom arc. There's this bottom arc that connects, and then there's another arc. There's like 3 other arcs above that large arc. I did. And that's how the other ring looks now that Radagon repaired it with. No, that's not the way it looks. There's no way that it can look like that because the ring is the way the way it looks in Radigan. Well, hold on. You know what? Let's open up YouTube. We'll look at that cutscene of Radigan come into life. Get rid of these commercials. All right, here we go. All right. Let's see. YouTube. Open up the YouTubes. All right, there we go. I don't see any. I don't see that arc, the bottom arc anywhere. No, there's definitely no bottom arc there. Okay, there's definitely what you see. What we're looking at here is you have the center line. We don't even see America's rune arc. We don't see any of the arcs anywhere. We see Radigan's crosshatch, his lattice, holding the Elden Ring together. What's left? That's his repair. But there's no arc. There's no arc that we see in Elden Ring. Well, in this Elden Ring here. We don't see that. You see this? That's not there. This is not here. This right here is not here. This here is not here. This is not here. And this is definitely not here. That's all gone because America's dead. America's dead. That's why her rune is gone. This center here is there. The only thing that's here is this, but minus the arcs here. Maybe it's what's stuck in the hammer. Perhaps, Rattle. Perhaps. I think it's the center, the top of the bottom arc that is stuck in the hammer. Let's look at the hammer. I think the hammer has a lot of pieces just stuck in it. It's kind of just, the hammer looks like it's been run through fiberglass. Anybody ever run anything through fiberglass or got it in your arms and stuff? It just looks like just pieces everywhere. And you could even say that it might be pieces of Radigan's Great Rune, Elden Rune. Let's watch some Bonfire VN. I don't want to take anything from Bonfire. He's too great. I don't want to encroach on his greatness. Let's look at the Fair Missoula ring. Oh, I don't have it on me. I can look on YouTube for it. No. No, there's too many videos. Yeah. We might just have to get the Fair Missoula the old-fashioned way to look at it. But everybody knows what Fair Missoula's great Elden Ring looks like. Let's see. Either way, are we seeing through Broken Rune? We are seeing the Broken Rune, and the argument is that is what the ring looked like broken, not after Radagon repairs it. Either way, we are seeing the Broken Rune, and the argument is that this is what the ring looked like broken, or after Radagon repairs it. This Elden Ring did not exist, does not exist, ever. It's not represented. When I'm saying this Elden Ring, this collection of rings in Elden runes is not represented anywhere in game. That's what I'm saying. And you can't find it anywhere in game. Maybe Insight says, I think there were 2 times the Elden Ring was broken. I think the Elden Ring may have not been broken before, but I think it was taken apart before. I think it was taken apart before and rearranged. Now, if it was broken, perhaps, maybe, but I would hate to use the word broken. It's kind of like, oh, we don't need this rune anymore. Let's remove it. So if you want to use the word broken for that, then sure, you can use that. Rattle says, man, what if America is trapped in the hammer? It looks like the shape of America's rune, or like the shape of somebody trying to make or repair America's rune with the hammer as the centerpiece of it. I think in the hammer description, it says that it's just got shards of the Elden Ring from its explosion in it. Let me double check that. I have that hammer. We can. Stone hammer made in the lands of the Newman, outside the lands between. The tool with which Queen Marika shattered the Elden Ring, and Radagans attempted to repair it. The hammer partially broke upon shattering the ring, becoming splintered with rune fragments. So it broke apart, but the rune fragments are keeping it together magically, I suppose. So I would say this, because if we look at this thing, right? If we look at it, the runes that are splintered inside of it, to me, they look like they're two different colors, two different hues of gold. Like the big one here in the center of the hammerhead is slightly brighter, and the ones here on the shaft are slightly darker. They have more of a reddish tint. But that could be my bias talking, because I would say when Marika broke the hammer, or broke the Elden Rune, it shattered the head of the hammer. And later, when Radagon was trying to repair it and put his great rune into the Elden Ring, and that's why we have shards of his Elden Rune in the handle, perhaps. Oh, Freeman, even better explanation. Radagon patched up the shaft. Yes, you know what? I'll go with that. The title screen is the Elden Ring before the shattering, but without the Elden Beast, it's just the game logo that could be more. But could be more. What else is that but breaking? No. I mean, if you're talking about what I was saying that it was taken apart, if you take something apart, it's intentional. You're trying to take it apart with the intent of putting it to without causing damage to it. Breaking means it's no longer working. Like you can take apart a car engine, then put it back together. You could damage your car engine by, running in first gear at 70 miles an hour and blowing a cylinder, but throw a rod right through the body. That's breaking. But if you remove the head, then remove the header, and then you take out the pistons and the piston rods and the camshafts and all of that, that's taken apart. Rattle says, not to be lame, but do we think Radagon tried to repair the Elden Ring with the hammer, or the hammer with pieces of, or the both? Both. Slope says, it's like how Guts' bones are held together by the berserk armor, sticking iron spikes into them to hold them together after he's injured. I don't know anything about Guts, but I guess that makes sense. Jackal says, Radagon tried to fix the Elden Ring the same way the TF2 engineers tried to fix things. You're right, Jackal. You're right. Fuck TF2. I hate that band. Let's see. Cayman says, I could be Radagon's crosshatch on the shaft. Yep. It could be Radagon's crosshatch on the, yeah. Freeman says, all Radagon's runes does is hold things together. True, Freeman. The lattice is for it to hold on to each other. It's like hanging there. Like vines grow on stuff. You put a lattice on your wall in your house, and you can put pictures and little knickknacks on it. Mastrotha says, when Marika returned to her village and left the golden spell, she took the hammer to destroy the Elden Ring and free herself from Radagon and the outer god that was controlling her. And that's when she died. You know what, Mastrote? I will finally agree with you. Yes, that sounds very, very reasonable and most likely how it happened. Kudos to you, my friend. You're finally getting it. Insight says, I think great runes are broken when they're removed from the Elden Ring and not placed in a vessel. No, I would have to disagree because we find the great runes just sitting out. Even the mending runes, which are great runes themselves, are just sitting out after somebody, on the dead bodies. And they'll just sit there. Like we find the great runes just sitting out in front of like the two-finger statues. Cayman says, but if you take something apart and it's broken, by that process, then you broke it. True. Technically, you are true. That's true. But we know that the Elden Ring wasn't broken when it was taken apart because the world still persisted for it to be put back together in a different configuration for the world to continue, to still continue. Right? And let's not forget that the Elden Ring is not the collection of rings that we see. But I am 100% behind Boss Saucer when he says that the Elden Ring is the central ring of the collection of rings. And every ring that's connected to it is a different aspect of reality, maybe even life. So like here, you can see my cursor. This here, or perhaps this inner ring is in the centerpiece of every Elden Ring. And it's called Elden Ring, right? And I never thought about it. There's no S here for Elden Rings. The Elden Ring, which is the beast, which we see on Godwin's relief on his sigils, the Elden Ring. We see the Elden Ring on the primordial image of the crucible on their armor. It's a single ring with life coming out of it. The Elden Ring. And then as lords came to power, they added to it. 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 The Elden Ring, which is the Elden Beast. Boss, I will always back Boss up on that. Ring TM. Not rings TM. I'm just saying. Boss was smart. He was really I can't deny it. I can't deny how smart Boss is. He's so smart. He's probably the smartest person on his island. I want some of that green marijuana that Masorti smokes. Yeah, because it apparently it sends him into outer space. Mainly because this is Rattle. Rattle says mainly because the handle is so unique looking. It looks like a handle of Astel stars. Interesting. I thought it looked very reminiscent to what we see in the Smith script rune forges. Freeman says, I have the insane idea that America's hammer America's hammer being a claw hammer that we use today. A claw hammer. Oh, like to remove the double claws. Yeah. To remove nails and stuff. Carpenter's hammer. Let's see. Not one, the Golden Highway. Not on the gold. No, we don't. That's on the Golden Highway. I think that is the only place, and I stated that on the Discord. That might be the only place that we see the Elden Ring not in that configuration with the central ring. Insight says, "Have you played the Night Rain?" Yes, I have played the Night Rain DLC. 'Tis horrible. Mastrosa says the Elden Beast is just runes that are imprisoning the center part. That's the Elden Ring that America had. Yeah, he's token again. No, bro, I don't know where you're getting that. I don't know where you're getting that, bro. Cammy says, aha, but the world worked well for a time and stopped working well after a time. I'll talk about it in the next call. Okay, we'll talk about it in the next call, bro. I mean, the world is still the world is still working, even though that the Elden Ring is broke. I mean, magic still persists, burrs still continue, life continues. Insight, you should call in. Get on the Discord. I'm sure you're on the Discord. Get on the call. It's open mic. You can say whatever you want. It's the platform for the people to say their piece. There will be a podcast as well for a little more room to breathe and talk. Yeah. Make sure you go follow the channel for the podcast. It's Inquisition Radio Live. IRL. It's gonna be the biggest podcast on Elden Ring ever. Because we're not afraid. There's no fear. The Golden Inquisitors have no fear. We live without fear. We are daredevils. What is fear? Nothing. Mastrote says, Elden Ring is just a name that represents the multiple runes or rings that from the else ring, like if they were multiple rules on how the universe works. Perhaps. I used to think that too. Rattle says, he says this about the podcast. It will be absolutely sensational. He's also here for the action. You know what I just noticed? What's this pattern that y'all see? Did y'all notice that pattern too? Or am I behind? Crucible roots. Yes. Jack says reminds him of the Crucible. Yes, both of you are correct. But it also reminds me of the roots of the real Erd tree. Let's go out here so we get a better look. Oh, I'll look at that top of the door. Let me go back. Oh, I can't open it not from this side. Right? those roots extend out into nothing. That's crazy. That's crazy. Looks like a pillory shield. What's a pillory shield? All right, Rattle. What is this? What are you trying to show us with this door, sir? Sir? It doesn't have the three monsters. Mr. Rote, what do you see in this? Wait, but we are watching the light that's peeking through the cracks. It's just not a pattern drawn. No, it to me, and maybe to others, it's very reminiscent of roots. The roots of the Erd Tree, the roots of the Crucible. Do they climb up? Let's see if it climbs up. They do climb up. So they are like roots. Hold on. Insight says it is interesting. Oh no. Rattle says it is interesting. It is interesting. Why not? Why not on this door? Perhaps the door in the front is a newer door, and this door represents a time before those three took over. So this door is older, and that's why it doesn't have those three. It's like Rattle. I don't know if you ever how deep you are into historical the historical method of like biblical text scripture, right? Looking at it, how do you know prophecies, how they look at prophecies? This is why I don't like prophecies anymore, because prophecies are written in a way after the fact of an event, right? I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, this tells me that this happened first. This may have been the main entrance at one time, and then as civilization went on and continued, they continued to build outwards, and by the time they got to the front doors there, those three monstrosities were the leaders. You know, because if something doesn't exist on something that was built before, right, it represents a change by the time it was constructed, a fundamental change, because outer structures, remember, cities expand outward, so the outer structures will most likely be the newer area, and the inner structure will be older, right? In a sense. Like a golden nebula. Ooh, interesting. Freeman says, the old door for humans, newer door fits giants people. No. Slope says, but nothing more than that. For those representations, they're pretty basic, but they're both made of golden letters. Elden Beast loves being golden nebula attacks that scrub. Elden Beast teleports is really fucking cool looking though. The Elden Beast teleport is really fucking cool looking, though admittedly. Interesting. Hey, look at that. Chemtrails. Oh my god. I want that spell. I wish we could get that spell. Can't catch me. Oh, he caught me. I don't have to kill him. I'm a ninja. You missed mine. Now I'm convinced they are roots, like you said. Yeah. Yeah, Mastrote. I really wish we could get that spell. Man. Let me ask y'all a question. And I want y'all to think very carefully when you answer this. Deep in your hearts, deep in your souls, I want you to look. I want you to reflect. Before you answer this question, here's the question. Do you believe that an Limb will be in the Elden Ring movie? Your Pharaoh says no. Freeman says no. Oh my God. What's wrong with y'all? Anybody else? Slope says no, basically. Because he says, this is what Slope says. Slope gave like this answer. He says, I don't think anything will be in the movie because I don't think it ain't gonna get published. He doesn't think the movie's gonna get made. They're not gonna leave that money on the table, Slope. Freeman says, too much makeup and CGI. Zero faith, says Slope. I think I think Any Airline's going to be in the movie. We'll talk about this tree in just a second. Let me kill Queelig.
The grace of gold burning death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Can I kill him in one shot? Let's try. Power up. Oh, he didn't let me power up? You gotta let me power up. You ain't drinking. You ain't. If I ain't gonna drink a potion, you ain't gonna drink a potion. Oh, you drink a potion. You little bitch. I hate when invaders drink a potion. Or Quelac. Oh no, I guess it's Queeling. Quelingi? Cunnilingus?
My words, graceless heathen. Thou cannot evade the flame of Messmer.
Quailing. So undelicious. All right, so this is where we're gonna be for the close of the stream. This is what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about this damn tree and the people that make it. Let me turn off the HUD so we can get a cinematic feeling. So you can feel what I feel. So you can know what I know. Queefline says Jackal. Queefline. I like Queefline. Two Finger Tree says your Pharaohs. Slope says, I've seen too many companies waste a few $100 million on remake after remake. Halfway through, it's what's called development hell. I see what you mean. Macharte says, is there any recorded interaction between America and Mikla? None. None. Slope says, the tree literally looks like two fingers. Mastrote says, Marika. What's up, Inquisitors? What's up, Rob Austin? From Louisiana. Cold Stone Rob Austin. He's a Texan by heart. By spirit. An honorary Texan is what I meant to say. Anyways, this tree here, this two-finger tree. Do y'all see the pattern that I see? Not the pattern of the tree itself as a whole. Not the two fingers bent over like we find the two fingers. But the pattern in the two fingers, in the shape of the bark. From Detroit, man, who was it? Oh, it was there was another Austin. He was I called him Autism. I forget what his name. It was Austin. Well, there's too many Austins, Rob. Sorry, Rob. I do apologize, Mr. Detroit. All right, so now that I've apologized for making an ass of myself, here we go. Let's look. I'm talking about the, I can't see it now. I'm talking about this pattern here. The spiral pattern in there. Is it a fingerprint? Could that be a fingerprint? But I've seen that spiral pattern. I've seen something very reminiscent to that. Mastrote says something very reasonable that I agree with. I think Radagon made Mikla and Melania. Not that part. But this part. I do agree. To keep tricking people that America was alive and that he was the king. Because I, for one, believe that Radagon did murder America. Just as he murdered Renala. He's a murdering son of a bitch. A son of a bitch. He did murder them both and took over. Well, the thing is that he replaced Renala with an Abonort. With a Mimic. Maybe. Either one. And then, after what he had learned from sorcery, he moved him on to America. The seduction. And murdered her. The betrayal. And with what he had learned from America's mischief, merging with a silver tier, he could now become America. And the hint for that is in the Lost Ashes of War. Thus, the copy becomes the genuine article. America destroyed the Elden Ring to prevent him from having the power. But then he repaired it. And since he wasn't the real God, he wasn't really a chosen one. He wasn't the real Empyrean. He wasn't the real America. It was imperfect. And for its imperfection, he was punished, executed by the Elden Beast. That's why we see him crucified. That's why we see him with the spear through his abdomen. That's why we now see him being puppeted by the Elden Beast. That's why he doesn't have any voice lines. That's why he doesn't grieve when we kill anybody, any of his children or anybody else. He doesn't say anything. He's not like Godfrey, who has voice lines, because he is alive. Godfrey is alive. Radagon is not. He is dead. And that's it. And this tree tells us all of that, by the way. No, I'm joking. This tree doesn't tell us nothing. It does. I do believe that this tree, but for real though, for real, this tree here, that spiral pattern reminds me of what we see in the mountaintops of Giant on those tree things that are coming out of the giants. But that's just me. There could be no relation there. I do believe that these trees are made out of Newman. Made out of the same trees. These are the same trees that we find in Ini or Lim. And that are made of people. I definitely believe that. And perhaps this type of tree is the same type of tree that is holding on to the Erd tree. An amalgamation of people trying to bring down the Erd tree to fight for their freedom. Perhaps to control it. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got. Let's see. Let's read these final comments here. Let's start with our good friend Mastrote. I think Radagon. Okay, we read that. And it's just a wood, not dude. Okay, Rattle continues. On Jolt's armor on the giant in Night Rain. Okay, I don't know who Jolt's armor is. I don't know who that is. Sorry. Slope says the fingerprint spiral / eye of the storm / Unizuki whirlpool / all that. Yep. We broke Slope. It looks like. Freeman says they look like the swirls on Swords of Night. Yo, interesting. Freeman also says on Darkness from DLC. Rattle says Jolan. So, all right. So Jolon's armor and on the giants of Night Rain. He says, oh, yes, 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 yes. Slope continues. Slope says, I pretty much look at the center of the fingerprint in Junji no Ito's Zumizuki. I don't know these Japanese, bro. I mean, yeah. And the idea of evil from Berserk in Elden Ring, just a living thing at the center of a storm of causality. Interesting. Slope continues. Trees definitely either made of living people or earth tree people are made of trees or both. I like that idea. Mostrote says, no, Radigan loved Renala. Well, I'm not going to say it wrong yet. But it's coming though. He was being forced to return to America to have her. He gave her the rune that America used to create Radigan to leave space inside him to hide the Elden beast inside him, and serves as Trojan horse. Oh, Trojan horse. Okay, that's interesting, Mr. Dorothy. Interesting. Freeman says, and it's a common idea. It's a common idea. But interesting. Nonetheless, Freeman says America was in the mountain type of the giants, used her blood in thorn sorcery as spikes through the giants were grown by America shaman blood. Interesting. Okay. Nostal says, I'm not ready for the stream to be over. Nostal. My dearest friend. But I'm sleepy. And you should be in bed too, man. Get some sleep. It's good for the mind. A healthy mind is a healthy body. And an inquisitor with a healthy mind and body is a good thinking inquisitor. Mick Mike, welcome back, man. I'd like to think Radagon was born naturally, but the version of him we encounter is a construct of his own creation, in which he houses what's left of America. In which he houses what's left of Marika. Mastrote says, Radagon stopped being a puppet to America when... Radagon stopped being a puppet to Marika when Renala showed him how to use intelligence, and that's when he gained consciousness. Interesting. Jackal says, 3 days until Legacy of Kain Defiance Remaster. I'll be making good happy times with that. Dude, that sounds awesome. That's gonna be awesome. Are you gonna stream that, Jackal? Are you gonna stream that on YouTube so we can all watch, bro? So we can all watch. Mastrote says that's why he loved Renale. She woke him up to the universe, and that's why he knew how to contact the greater will. You know what? I am a romantic person, believe it or not. And as much as I like your idea, Mastrote, it's a nice romance, man. I like romance. Your Pharaoh says, Radigan was not a dragon. I'm glad you finally come around, your Pharaohs. I'm really glad, bro. Slope says, stream Resident Evil 9. My money low, bro. I gotta pay rent this week, and I gotta pay some other stuff. Resident Evil 9's in the future, but not yet, bro. I do apologize, but I'll get there eventually. I love Resident Evil. I want to go through the whole story, and I want to get to 9. With all due respect to everybody, your Pharaoh said Radigan was a dragon. I mean, I like to toy with him. I like to toy with Jackal, and, you know, even though we all know Roger's a liar, and Jackal loves Roger for some reason. Maybe Jackal likes to get lied to, but I will never lie to him. I will stream LOK Ascendance. Oh, Legacy of Kain. Oh, Jackal's going to stream Legacy of Kain. Your Pharaoh says, winky winky. McMike says, why do we think Renala loved Radigan? Could it have have possibly had something to do with him being not fully human at the time of the Liurnian Wars. I don't understand your question. Why do we think Renala loved Radigan? Oh, you know what? That is a very complicated question, because who knows the heart of a woman, really? You know, a woman may love you, or a man, but in this case, a woman may love you one day, hate you later that day, love you in the morning, and divorce you in the afternoon. I'm just saying. But the same can be said about men. And this is why Goldmask said the fickleness of gods were no better. And in the end, the fickleness of the gods were no better than men, right? I mean, men and gods, they weren't actually gods. You know, that's what the demigods were. They weren't actually gods. They were just men with power. People. They were just humans. Men as in humanity with power. Slope says our money low too. That's why we got. That's why you got to stream it. Yeah, bro. I mean, I'll put a vote up. You know, I'll put it on a credit card. We'll see. Mastrote says, "What's so powerful that what's so powerful than love on a story, dude? What's more? Oh." What's more powerful than love on a story, dude? Radagon freed himself to be with his love, and he didn't know he was just gonna be controlled by another god. No, I don't see Radagon as a loving. He may have loved his children, but he was narcissistic, and he used Renala for power, right? He may have loved her at first. I will not deny that. But once he got a taste of power of being king's consort of Liurnia, snap. There's where his love went. Because he had power now, and power corrupts. And now he wanted more. Now he controlled Liurnia through Renala. Right? He replaced her with a Ivanoric or a Silver Tear. And now that he ruled there, where could he go next? The Eternal Queen had banished Godfrey. She had no husband. Radagon was red-haired. He was good-looking. Ask Jackal. Red-haired guys are good-looking. Not in my opinion, but America fell for it. And then snap. He killed her too. Jackal says, I'll destroy you. Machote says, when he became king, he names his kids demigods like Nepo babies. Right. He does. And when he becomes king consort to the lands between, through the Erdtree, he starts wiping out Godfrey's lineage. Quietly getting them away, out of the way of his children, of his offspring. Only, think about it, only Radagon's children are Empyreans. Ronnie, Mikla, and Melania. Only his children are Empyreans. All of Godfrey's children are cast out, banished, or murdered. I'm just saying, if the shoe fits, the shoe fits. Mastrote, I understand that you love your love story. I wish I could love your love story. I wish I could see a love story, but I no longer see the love story. He's not a hero, bro. He's the villain. He's the villain nobody saw coming, literally. Well. I'm jaded. It's not the first time I've heard that. But the thing is, I don't think I am. What I am is awake. And I've taken off the rose-colored glasses and see people for what they are. Villains can have love stories, Jackal. I'm not saying they can't. He loved Renala in the beginning. but the power of having power corrupted him. And he loved Mikla. Let's not get wrong. He loved his children. He loved his children. But his love for power was even greater. I'm just saying. See things for what they are and not for what you want them to be. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Vike's love story. Vike's love story is beautiful. Tragic. You know who else had a beautiful love story? Banal. Banal had also a tragic love story. But nobody thinks about Banal because he's a villain. But he had a love story too. Let's not forget. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is the open mic call-in. If you want to discuss love stories, you can call in tomorrow, 7 o'clock Texas time, Central Standard Time, if you're horn sent. But we'll be reading the chat too. Make sure you join the Discord. Get in queue. And come speak with us. Speak with me, the Golden Inquisitor. And don't be nervous and don't be shy, because it's just me. Remember, I'm just a man in a silver mask. Right? Your Pharaohs is jaded. He doesn't like Banal. But I do. I see a lot of myself in Banal. He's a good guy. Misguided, but a good guy at heart. Tomorrow's going to be great. Tomorrow's Saturday, y'all. It's Friday night. Y'all be safe out there because we got stuff to do tomorrow. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.